Hello everyone. Today we're talking about equivalent fractions. Now, a lot of students tend to get confused on how to do equivalent fractions. So first of all, let's go over the basics. When we have a fraction like the following, 1 over 3 or 1/3, we know that the top number is called the numerator and the bottom number is called the denominator. With equivalent fractions, it means that we want either a bigger or smaller form of the same fraction. So whatever I do to the top, I have to do the same to the bottom so that it's still the same fraction. So for example, I could multiply both top and bottom by 2. So we can see here that if I multiply the top by 2, 1 times 2 would give me 2. If I multiply the bottom by 2, 2 times 3 would give me 6. So 2/6 would be the equivalent to 1/3. Now what if I also then multiplied it by 5 to the top? So we can also say here that 1 times 5 would give us 5 on top, and 3 times 5 would give us 15 in the bottom. See, if we reduce this, we still come back to 1/3. So although these do not look like equivalent fractions, but if you reduce it and always go back to the original, that's how you know that they are equivalent fractions. Now let's take a look at these examples here below. It says write 3 equivalent fractions for 1/2 and 2/5. So we can first, for example, multiply the top and bottom by 2. So we can see here that we get 2 times 1 would give me 2, 2 times 2 would give me 4. So 2/4 would work. We can multiply them both by 10. 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. So 10 over 20 is also an equivalent fraction to 1/2. And lastly, you can multiply both by whatever number you like. You can even multiply by 37. 1 times 37 will give us 37 on top. 2 times 37 would give us 74 in the bottom. So we can again check with a calculator if you need to. You can just go 37 divided by 74, and it should bring you back to 1/2. For 2/5, again, you can do the same thing. So you can easily multiply both by 2 to keep it simple. So 2 times 2 would give us 4, and 5 times 2 would give us 10. So 4/10 would be an equivalent fraction to 2/5. We can also multiply both by 3. So 2 times 3 would give us 6, and 5 times 3 would give us 15. And the last one, just for fun, let's just multiply both by, let's say, 1,000. So 2 times 1,000 would be 2,000, and 5 times 1,000 would be 5,000. So that is how you deal with equivalent fractions. Next up, we're going to talk about equivalent ratios. Now earlier we showed you that 1/3 is a fraction, but did you know that fractions and ratios are actually more or less the same thing? You can see them as being synonymous with each other. So what happens with a ratio is like it's a one number compared to another, but a fraction actually does the same thing. So for the ratio, the comparison is numerator compared to denominator. So in this case, 1 was our numerator, and then we put the 2 dots for the comparison, and then 3 is the denominator. So 1/3 can be also rewritten as 1 compared to 3. So with equivalent ratios, the idea of equivalent fractions still stay the same. Whatever you do to the numerator, you do to the denominator. So same thing with ratios here. Whatever you do to the first number, you do the same to the second number. So in this case, we can rewrite it as, if I multiply both numbers by 2 again, we'll get 2 compared to 6. And again, if you can reduce it, you should come back to 1 to 3 or 1/3 as a fraction. So again, let's practice real quick. Write 3 equivalent ratios for 1 to 4. Again, you can rewrite this as 1/4 if you wanted. Just make sure that when you're writing equivalent ratios, you keep it in ratio format with the 2 dots to show comparison. So again, I can double both numbers, so it can give me 2 to 8. I can even multiply both by 10, so 10 to 40. And I can even multiply both by 25. 25 to 100. The concept applies exactly the same as equivalent fractions. 3 to 8, same thing. We can double it if we wanted to. So 6 to 16. We can multiply both by 5, for example. 15 to 40. And just for fun, we'll multiply both by 1,000 again. So 3,000 to 8,000. And that's it. So hopefully this lesson has helped you understand how do we compare equivalent fractions and equivalent ratios. If you found this video useful, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep improving your math. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.